Hey, what's up everybody? This is Agathocles from Gearworks.com and the E2KG channel podcast network on YouTube. This is once again another out-of-the-box episode coming to you from the Geek Command Center. And today I am going to be talking about the Aula Excalibur SI-881 one-handed mechanical gaming keyboard with RGB backlighting. Now, I kind of refer to these peripherals as gamepads. This is the box that it came in. We won't be doing an unboxing because I don't do unboxings. I do out-of-the-box episodes, which are my initial hardware impressions of a device before I actually boot it up and put it to good use. So a little bit of exposition and introspection, what's going on with me and why we're talking about this piece of equipment today. So this year, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going through a recapitalization phase of all of my personal gaming peripherals, really my desktop peripherals, so mouse, keyboard, speakers, hard drives, monitors. One of the reasons for that is over the years with the tech blogging and the doing reviews, in many cases my desktop peripherals are not things that I've personally chosen. They are things that I've brought into the Geek Command Center to do reviews on, and then I wind up not sending them back in time to get a refund or whatever. They kind of pile up all over the place, and there's always a lot of variety and a lot of options, but they are frequently not the things that I've personally chosen that I would have selected, and so my computing doesn't feel as personal as I would like it to, if I can trade on HP's old marketing phrase. So what I've been doing at the beginning of 2018 is I've been going through and replacing a lot of those desktop peripherals as well as other parts with things that I personally select and want to use and aren't simply review units. In many cases, some of those things have begotten the other, and there's kind of been the snowball effect. So when I went to replace my keyboards, I decided that what I personally want in a keyboard is a 10 keyless keyboard. So all the workstations have had their keyboards replaced with such a peripheral. The problem that created was when I play first-person shooters, I play first-person shooters using the numeric keypad. It's also kind of a real estate problem because then I have to take the keyboard when it's a big mechanical gaming keyboard, shove it all the way over to the left to use the numeric keypad. Frequently on my workstations, sometimes I don't have enough desk space to do that easily and I have to shuffle a lot of things around. But also with 10 keyless keyboards, obviously I don't have a numeric keypad to utilize when I play first-person shooters. So I have kind of always used these keypads. I had the original Belka Nostromo N50, and then when they sold the Nostromo brand and IP to Razer, I also had the Razer N52 Nostromo. So I kind of traded a lot of those in. I kept the Razer Tartarus Chroma, which I still have. But I wanted to check out a couple of other these devices and have some options because I always like having options, and sometimes, you know, one works well for some things but doesn't work as well for others. So I have a D-Ball 46 key professional gamepad as well that I haven't put under review yet, but I have used it a couple times, and I wanted to get a hold of the Aula Excalibur as well. Really liked the look of it. It has a 4.3 average user rating, customer rating on Amazon, so I thought it would be a pretty good device. So let's start talking about the device itself. So this is a 60 key gamepad. It has a bunch of, basically the left hand side of the keyboard, but also specifically it has 10 hotkeys here on the right hand side. Very solid feel to them. I'm a little bit worried about actuating them with my left hand. When I'm actually gaming with my index finger. I don't know if they're so firm that I'm gonna have to reach my right hand over and jab them with my thumb. It also has these 8 macro keys. It has all 12 function keys around the top, and one of the reasons I wanted to get a hold of this is in a lot of cases the gamepad layout, when they break out these little tiny peripherals and you can put them anywhere you want on the desk, they are typically wedge shaped or hexagonally shaped. I really liked the arc shape, and kind of maps to the similar arc that your fingers trace when they're naturally aligned and spread like this. So I definitely wanted to check this out for that reason, and I like this layout of the function keys along the top. They are media keys as well. I'm not sure if I can get this on the microscope cam, which is a Victure Action Cam 1080p camera that I'm using tonight, but they also have your audio player and volume keys and stop and play with those function keys as well. Then to fill out the rest of the 60 keys, it has the escape, shift, control, alt, function, space, enter, and basically, like I said, the left-hand side of the keyboard. So the QWERTY, the ASDF, the ZXC, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, to configure those keys, it comes with a CD with the drivers on it. I need to do some more research on this company to determine whether or not I trust them enough to install the drivers. I think the company is out of Hong Kong, I want to say. We can check that out of the box here quickly. No, they're not out of Hong Kong. So they're in, I think, Dongzhong City in Guangdong, China. Not sure if I'm pronouncing those right at all. China and Asia is one of the countries that I haven't been to. So I'm pretty impressed. This is not a braided cable, which is one thing that I've noted. Usually on high-end gaming peripherals, it's usually braided, so it's just a standard rubber cable, but pretty decent length on it. So that's probably more what I need rather than it being braided. I just need it to have enough cable length to go anywhere on the desk that I need it to. Supposedly reading the instructions, it supposedly has a drain hole on the bottom of it if it ever gets wet. I don't really see that. I haven't found it specifically. These are pretty decent rubberized feet. Just laying it down on the desk again, I haven't put it to complete use yet, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to stay in place. Again, because it's not the same shape that a lot of these other gamepads are, I think it's engineered pretty decently ergonomics-wise to stay rooted on the desk. The other reason that I really liked this is it comes with a little footrest, and all you do to attach that, I'm going to go ahead and attach it now, is it has 2 feet holes here on the bottom. There's no trick or interlock mechanism or anything like that to getting this thing to fix in place. Shouldn't need it because just the sheer weight of this is a pretty chunky gamepad, so that should hold it in place mostly. I guess it does have a slight kind of click in, and then it should lay down like so. Left hand goes here, and away you should go. This is a mechanical keyboard. I mentioned that when I talked about it in name. I'm not sure exactly what kind of switches it has. I want to say that it's blue, but I'm not absolutely positive. But I should hopefully have time to evaluate that and make certain of it and report back to you when I finalize my actual review. So once again, this is the Aula Excalibur SI-881 mechanical gamepad with RGB backlighting. I should mention also it has 5 pre-programmed lighting schemes, and then if you install the drivers, it has slots for 5 additional custom lighting schemes. Again, I've got to determine whether or not I trust the drivers. I also need to see if their website has them available for download online, so I don't have to just use the disc. I'm hoping that the drivers are updated. This device came out in May of 2017, so it is about 7-8 months on the market. And goes for $79.99 on Amazon right now. 4.3 average user rating, so it seems to be playing pretty well for other people. I can't really think of anything else right now. My main takeaways are I like the 10 hotkeys, the 8 macro keys. Got to determine how much I'm going to use them. I like the additional keys in the layout. Usually you don't have this many. I've got to decide if this is going to cause kind of a change for me. You don't, the WASD T orientation is actually kind of kicked over here to the left. If I wanted to put my hands on the center of the keyboard, which was preferable, of the gamepad, I'll actually be using ESDF, which is a little different, but I don't think it'll make a big difference functionally. But overall, I am pretty impressed with the hardware out of the gate. The one thing I would say is doesn't have a braided cable, but I would say that's kind of a break even for me just on initial hardware impressions, because it does have a pretty lengthy cable, and I do also like the footrest that isn't so high. You know, on the Razer Tartarus Chroma, and actually on the N52, those had wrist rests, but they really forced your hand up in an angle that wasn't preferable to me. So I'm interested to see how this does for me long term. At any rate, if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. This is going to be under review. You guys know I do longer term reviews, so this is probably going to be under review for about 2 weeks. I'm not just going to spend, you know, a couple hours gaming with it and then try and say that I'm an authority on how well it works. I'm going to live with it for 2 weeks to a month and then let you guys know what I feel, and I may also have some midterm guidance on that as well. So if you have any questions, send them to me. Hit me up on Twitter at Agassically Stamus. or just post a comment on this video on the Rounding Off Infinity gaming channel on YouTube. So thanks once again for joining in for this episode of Out of the Box. My name has been Agasicles Stamus from GearWorks.com, the E2KG Network channel on YouTube. That's going to do it for me. I'm out of here.